Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you are returning and you have stuck with the channel, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I wanted to get a little New Year's Eve message. I wanted to get a message out. It's been busy, so thank you for bearing with me, as I think we've all been pretty busy. So let's start with a we're gonna just start. Here we go. All right, a time of a lot of self-reflection, maybe feeling divided, feeling trying to bring those polarities together, and resistance. This has been the energy. A resistance is in the air. I will say that. But there's this merging of our previous experience of being human and of being who we are, merging with the new, understood, more conscious experience of being spirit, being soul, being one. So this is the energy, you guys. So that's what I'm feeling with that. And then I also see like a leaf print in here too, which tells me there could be some things needing to fall away that are still dividing or blocking the merging of your like inner self with your outer world. Or this could be anything that's you see happening, a pattern or something in your life where you're like, man, this thing would fall away and leave, but there could be some resistance that you may not even be consciously aware of that you're resisting. So I have pulled out the blind spot deck to kind of point out some blind spots that we could be experiencing right now. That's kind of shadow work, you guys. It's something you probably don't want to hear because it's, and you may say, no, that isn't me. And maybe it's not, but most likely it is. And you're just resisting looking at your blind spots, or resisting the big shifts or the changes, or the really hard work that it takes to practice what we've learned in our day-to-day. You know, it's easier to have a couple good days or really exercise what we've learned and how we've grown, but we have to stay aware that these patterns can pull us back in, or these dynamics can pull us back in to their to the same cycle, or the same cycle. We got Archangel Adnakiel and Tiger's Eye. Tiger Spirit rises. And I will read that. We're going to go ahead and get one of these. This is a collective message, and whenever you find this, I do believe that everything comes out at the time it comes out for a reason. So let's keep that in mind. We got Seraph. This is what I also got in another reading I just did. That's a very collective energy right now, and it's about finding the joy, really holding on to joy right now, because I do feel this. There's a lot of and I'm not going to get too much talking about the planets, but Pluto is transitioning. We are transitioning into new energy. Really, lots of shifts happening, you guys. It's not light work. Although it needs light work, if that makes sense. It's heavy work for light work. So it's really important that we find optimism, joy, hope, and we don't judge, and we're very compassionate right now, because we're going to be facing a lot of resistance. Resistance to change, resistance to growth, resistance to letting go of old ways of maybe controlling things, people, dynamics, situations. We could be facing this. This is showing through people in our lives, or maybe our jobs, maybe whatever. So that is something to keep in mind. So it's really important to kind of stay sovereign in your compassion and in your own joy and your own connection to spirit right now, and not get pulled or dragged into or away from the bigger picture and the bigger intention here. Let's get one of these. And then I will read these, you guys. So I want to say thank you again for sticking by the channel, you guys. Flexibility. Going with the flow right now. Being flexible. Not trying to control things. Not trying to control how people are doing whatever they're doing. Whether they're resisting or they're embracing and surrendering to the changes, to the shifts, to the energy. It's just important you know where you're at and you offer all you can to these changing times. Let's get one of these. Oh, that one just keeps wanting to flip, but there's like 3 of them. Let's see. Just for a moment, joy. Okay, just for a moment, joy. We're going to continue shuffling, but I'll take note of that. Hope everybody had a good holiday if you do the holidays, and everybody has a healthy and happy new year, and finds their peace this year. We're getting more and more understanding and accepting of our journey, and that brings us more peace, you guys. So it does get better. Even if you're in the messy stuff, it gets better. Towering magnificence. Once again, I am seeing these 2 different worlds, 2 different energies coming together. I'm seeing a lot of support, a lot of beings in this. So let's go ahead and get our blind spots. Okay, so I'm going to do 3 blind spots, you guys. Okay, we're going to do the garnet for your first blind spot. If you pick the garnet, you're going to go with the first card, which I am picking right now. Okay. Next one is the citrine. That one's coming through as like confusion or something. But with this deck especially, I'm always off on what I get from the sigil. Okay. And next is the selenite. I might just show you the sigil too for each one, and that might determine whether maybe you could change your mind or maybe listen to 2 of the messages that I'm going to read. Because the sigil can kind of speak to the part of us that doesn't understand words, or not doesn't understand words, but like subconsciously, like an unconscious kind of calling to, kind of like a crystal or anything like that, you guys. So this is the first sigil. Let's see which one you are most drawn to. Okay, this is sigil 1. See Neptune in there too. This one's kind of calling to me here. And then I am this one. This is sigil 2. This went with the citrine. And this is sigil 3, which went with the selenite. Definitely seeing almost looks like a moth, a person, and a compass. Direction. Feeling direction with this one. Or focus and direction or something like that. That's what I'm getting. We will see. Okay, so I'm going to read those blind spots real quick, and then we're going to read the, because these might trigger you a little, depending on what it is and what the you know, and if you're aware that this is a blind spot of yours and it's something you're working on, or it's something maybe you need to work on. So we got 66. What is this blind spot? That's this one, you guys. This is the first one. This is the one that went with the garnet. Conversion. If you have drawn this sigil, you are either being congratulated or warned. Either you have made a positive change on a mental and emotional level that is now converting in the body physically and as increased well-being, or your lack of awareness of emotional and mental stress is now making it become physical in form. So I was drawn to this one, and I have been doing a lot of work, so that's kind of good for me. It could be a congratulations maybe. Also, if you are experiencing some kind of ailments, some kind of maybe overexhaustion, even illness, you guys, it could be because you're resisting something on the mental or emotional level that could be getting to you. It says, and just to be aware that there's probably something else that maybe needs looked at. It says it's now is becoming physical in the form of decreased well-being. In other words, the emotional and mental aspect of the truth of yourself that you are not aware of or are not admitting to is converting into physical symptoms. So some shadow work that needs done. So if this was, if you're like, no, I'm not doing well, you know, I'm not feeling balanced in my emotional and mental body, then it's saying there's some shadow work that needs done. There's something within that you need to look at that could be causing you to feel physically depleted and physically drained, and maybe even physically, it could manifest in many ways, you guys, but this is definitely coming through pretty strong. So there might be a lot of people that picked this garnet and this sigil. 66, that's up to 12 too, so that 3. Okay, your body is a manifestation of your consciousness. It is trying to get your attention. It is either congratulating you for the changes you've made, or it is trying to get you to make a change. This could be something, you know, maybe you've needed to change about maybe your diet, or maybe toxins, or maybe exercise, or just maybe more sleep, or maybe needing to meditate or take time for yourself, something like that, you guys, that needs some attention right now if you are feeling this the other way and not feeling it as, oh, I'm feeling good, like I'm feeling balanced, I'm feeling vibrant. I think this energy can be exhausting for everybody going through it, but you'll know, you can tell by your skin, you can tell by the way you are sleeping, you can tell by the way you're functioning during the day, and how you're taking care of yourself. Most importantly, if you aren't showering, or you aren't taking that extra time you need to just love yourself, there's something that needs attention. Those are the times we really need to pay attention to ourselves, okay? And I want everybody to know that as we enter the new year, okay? It says you're not separate from your thoughts and emotions. For example, if you're constantly tired, you may be living your life according to what has to be done. Like, I don't have time for that because this has to be done, or this has to be done, or this has to be done. And it's kind of an illusion. Nothing really has to be done. You can even call in to work. You can even say, I'm not going to be there. I need a day. Now, you make a habit of that, you might lose your job. But there's just things that need to come first. And if you're putting anything ahead of that, a relationship, a job, other obligations, maybe somebody else's comfort over your own comfort, you could be being too sacrificial with your energy, your time, all that, and you could be neglecting yourself and your body and your spirit and your soul and all that. You could be neglecting you, and that's when that just doesn't feel good, and you're going to feel it. It says it is sucking inspiration and intrinsic motivation out of your being. So if you're not feeling motivated, stuff like that, something to look at. And that may be converting to actual chemical changes in your brain and muscles. If you feel totally out of control and powerless. I was kind of getting that with this card. Like, it's just like there's a resistance to, maybe you just are trying to hang on to control in some area of your life, and you need to release that because it's showing up in physical symptoms, or showing up in physical exhaustion or just depletion of some sort, okay? I am getting that. You may tend to feel isolated. Oh, excuse me, I need to go back one sentence. If you feel totally out of control and powerless within relationships, you may perceive yourself to be totally out of control of the process or free will involved in giving and receiving from others. You may tend to feel isolated, distrusting, and end up in love-hate relationships. Have difficulty committing to relationships, and therefore, because life is relationships, have difficulty committing to life on earth itself. Because of this, you may be in a fight with whether to take in life at all. And this could lead to depression. Okay, so if you're finding yourself feeling depressed or just lonely, isolated, there's something here you just need to take care of within yourself. And it's it kind of always boils down to me when it comes through like this. To me, it feels like it's what we've done a lot of our lives, and that is always gathering our self-worth and our value for ourselves from what we can do for others. It's great to help others, believe me, it's great, but you have to help yourself first and foremost. And honestly, everything else just it helps for people to see somebody taking care of themselves, see somebody working on what they need to do and saying, I know everybody thinks that's what I need to be doing right now, but I know what I need to be doing right now. Have trust in yourself, and then you'll have more trust in the things around you also. So have trust if you're getting called to take a break, or you're getting called to work on some really deep stuff, because this does feel like heavy. This feels like there could be some deep stuff you need to sift through, some shadow work, something like that, if this is your card. And just do that, and do it with a lot of compassion and a lot of love, and understanding that this is just part of the process of getting to a more balanced place, where you don't feel so obligated to not only obligated, like absolutely dependent on everything external to make you feel somehow like you're contributing or being a better person, or if you're busying yourself, or just if there's anything like that, you guys. I'm getting a lot with that. So it says, as results, this way of being converts to physical illness. One method that we can use to become aware of what is occurring within us is to close our eyes and ask to see the part of us that is affected in our mind's eye. So just be like, what part of me is affecting? And you'll actually more feel it. It won't come so much maybe as a vision, and if it does, it does, but you'll definitely feel it. You'll feel where the pains are. You'll feel where the aches are. You'll feel where the physical thing, the blockages. And also, there's books on that too, you guys. Energy, chakra books, stuff like that. If you're into, you can really find what's the blockage. There's a good one I got. It's, I'd have to get it, but it's called Energy, an energetic anatomy or something like that. I think it's what it's called. And it's awesome. It has like so much like where energy's held, and like if you're having certain things going on with your body, it's usually related to some kind of emotional or mental blockage that is causing some kind of physical side effect. So, all right, that is that one, you guys. Let's go to 64. This was the citrine. So if this was the blind spot card you picked, I'm going to hold it up again. The Mask of Altruism. Yes, this is kind of feeling like one whole reading. So if this reading is resonating with you, chances are you are doing a lot, maybe to get your own worth, or a sense of self-worth from others around you, or a job, or doing stuff for the family instead of taking care of yourself, or taking the time to go do that, like inner child healing or whatever it is. Okay, I am getting that. It says, if you have drawn this sigil, you're being asked to see that society has made self-focus and self-interest so bad and wrong. And that's another thing. We go, oh, she sounds just selfish saying I need to pay attention to myself and not pay attention to my family, and not pay attention to my job. I need that stuff. I need to do this stuff. I have to do this stuff. It's not selfish. It's taking care of yourself so you can be a stronger, more balanced, more compassionate, and more healthy being in the collective, in your job, in your family, wherever it is, you guys. And we've been taught that, if you take care of yourself or you take time for yourself, you're selfish and you don't care about us and you ain't doing what we want you to do, so you suck. And then our self-worth suffers greatly if that's our source. That's our source of worth, value. And this has been a big message, you guys. That's not where our value is. Our value is in what we bring as we are, who we are, not who people want us to be, but who we actually are, what we actually are, the energy we are actually meant to bring, not what everybody wants us to bring. Sometimes you don't get what you want. People may want something different, but everybody is contributing in their own special, unique way and it may be even to rub people wrong, okay? It may be that may even be one of your energetic signatures, but that's to create change and self-reflection in others that may be uncomfortable. There's tons of things, you guys, so it's really powerful. Helping, it says, it's been taught that it's bad and wrong, and that you can no longer see selfishness as self-interest in yourself. Instead, you have disguised it as altruism. Okay. This is also saying, this is what I was just saying, like, you could be like, oh, I'm doing this, like, this is for, like, kind of that energy that's like, oh, I'm contributing to this, I'm helping these guys, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. And actually, it's like, but you're like, it's because they need it, or they need me, or they, I don't know what they do without me. And the truth is, you don't know what you do without that, because there's nothing else. That's your time. That's how you're filling your time. That's what you're doing with your energy. So you're getting a lot out of it, which would be doing something with the intention. You may be saying one thing or thinking it's for one intention. Well, it's just to help them out. But really, it's so you're, I don't know, let's just say like the hero or the whatever, that you come in and you try to save people and rescue people, and it's more because you need to save and rescue yourself. And these blind spot cards, they come through really tough, you guys, so I'm not trying to sound like harsh, but that's the blind spots, and those are things we can do, and we do thinking, well, I'm trying to help that person, and they just don't get it or whatever, and it's like, what are you trying to get from it? Because at this point, you are spending valuable time and energy. And then if it isn't picked up, it's the other person's problem, right? Even though you're the one that kept offering your services, or kept offering your help or your time or your energy or your money or whatever. And that falls back onto you and why you do this. For what is your goal, or what is your intention with overexerting your energy into something? It says it can be disguised. We can disguise it as, oh, I'm helpful. I'm part of the community. I'm helping people, and maybe it's just you want to look like. Maybe it's about your image. Maybe it's about your ego. Maybe it's about who knows. It could be about many, many, many things, or it could be feeding that part of yourself. And Spirit's coming in and saying, be mindful that these things can feed a part of like the stuff we're trying to release, or we're working through releasing, so that we can be more authentic, more true, have more truth in what we're doing. Help people in order to get appreciation. It says, helping or rescuing someone or something has a way of externally rescuing yourself. But that's not internally, okay? Donating to, starting, or helping out philanthropic efforts in order to see yourself as a good person and showing off how good you are. Helping people in order to get appreciation. Having children and telling yourself that you can give them so much love, when in fact you did it in order to be validated as a person by having a mini me, and getting their love, sacrificing yourself so as to get the esteem and self-concept of yourself as being good and right. So this is for that. It kind of feels like maybe an overachiever kind of energy. It says, dedicating your life to the success of one of your children. So if you're, I've put all this money and time and energy into getting my kid into this school, and maybe you're showing up to all their games, you're doing all this stuff. There's something in you here. There's something here that's like needs attention here. It says, if you're, dedicating your whole life to one of your children and convincing yourself it is for their good, when it is really because their success reflects well on you as a parent and a person. Also, that's another energy I was getting. It's like, could be feeding a part of your ego or your personality that you want people to see or perceive you as. When I'm not saying don't care for your children and don't support them in their things, but if you are, that's what it's all about. And it's not about getting down to the root and the nitty gritty of like why, like what were your wounds like, and are you using your child wounds because your parents never went to the game or never supported you, and you're like overcompensating, then that still needs balanced out. It doesn't mean it's negative what you're doing. It just means it needs balanced out. There's a lack of balance here with something you could be putting yourself into for the image or the satisfaction of saying, hey, that wasn't me. I didn't, at least, I did better than my parents, or I did, there's that feeling here with this card. It says it can be very hard to see that you are doing this because we often use altruism specifically in order to see ourselves as a good person. And recognizing that you have ulterior motives makes you feel like you're a really bad person. But if you have drawn the sigil, you are being called into graduated self-awareness. You are being asked to see that it is not evil to have self-centered interests. We all have individual wants and needs. When those self-centered interests become dangerous is when we aren't consciously aware of them and we begin to get them in indirect and disguised ways. If you are meeting your needs in this way, it is a guarantee that it will backfire on you somehow. The sigil wants to spare you from that pain. If you have drawn this sigil, it will benefit you to spend some time accepting in the energy of sigil 2, as well as this one, and coming to understand its message as well. I'm going to look at sigil 2 real quick just to see what that is. And it's self-concept. So this is about the ego. The ego is the singular identity that you call by your name. It is an amalgamation of all the things you identify with. The things you call I, me, or mine. Ego is self-concept. So it's really reflecting on your self-concept with this card, you guys. Let's go to 53, and I might just get a card for each of them. 53. Okay. Because I feel like with a blind spot, we also need a soft spot. But that's just, I know people don't want to hear, like, harsh truths about us. But these are things we need to work on so we can balance out our energies. So we aren't overcompensating or overdoing something because of a wound, because of a... we want to heal the wound so that we can just be free to be our energy, not be trying to, in constant, constant retribution of a wound or constant, an unconscious working on a wound, but it's not really getting worked on. It's more just getting constant Band-Aid or constantly putting salve on it and Band-Aids instead of just getting deep in there and pulling out the thing that keeps festering up unconsciously for us. So that's another message coming through. Identification. Okay. You are currently so identified with something that you cannot separate yourself from that thing long enough to be objective or conscious about it. This is feeling a lot like a flowing energy here. So this could be an energy we're all dealing with right now on a very, very big level because it is feeling kind of interconnected. And I am feeling that also with this. It's like being so almost torn between kind of, there's this wanting to merge and then there's this wanting to resist. How do I put this? It's kind of the same. It's like we want to be one, but we don't want to be one. We want to be we want to be individual, we want to be separate, but we don't want to be separate. So we need a balance here, and there's things we need to let go of that are causing like rifts between our soul, our spirit, and our conscious awareness of that. There's just things that kind of come right in the middle and just kind of make us feel split or feel divided. It's like in the same breath you might want to be that great perfect person, but at the same time it's like I just kind of want to sit around and do nothing too. Or you might want to be that like busy, a successful person, but it doesn't mean you can't take breaks either. There's just a feeling of needing a lot of balance right now. It says identity is the condition of being oneself, one separate self. Another word for this is ego. Whenever we associate something with our self, we identify with it. It becomes part of us. Like, I'm a PTA mom. I'm a cook. I'm a artist. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I'm a, that's all. I'm a this. I'm a this. This is my role. This is what I do. Which is interesting because we do become identified with that. And that's not what Spirit really wants us to be fully identified with. It just to be the energy we are. My body carries the energy of talking. I'm chattery, and I talk a lot, and my energy comes like, I have a lot of energy. And so that's like what I feel like more on a deeper level. And now I can apply that energy to things in my life. By my life, I mean the life I am living. It's very hard thing to kind of, I could go in a circle rabbit holes with that, but there's a lot here. It says, whenever we associate something with ourself, we identify with it. It becomes part of us, the same as us. This is what attachment really is. It is identification. And if the thing we identify with is threatened, so let's say the kids move out. Let's say your whole life you identified with taking the kids to school, being the classroom mom. This is just an example, you guys. And I'm not, it's not bad. It's not bad. That's good. And that's awesome. But what happens when that isn't there anymore? Do you follow your kids to college and keep being the room mom? Or do you have this blank space where you have to look at what is it, this energy within me, within this person wants to express? What is it? And there's a bigger picture there. But then it's like, wow, I am this old, I'm 40 some years old or whatever, and I still don't know what I actually am, what my energy is actually passionate. What am I passionate about? Like, you can still be passionate about your kids, your family, your job, whatever, but there's something you have to contribute to everyone, not just your kids, not just your family, not just your job. There's an energy you have specifically meant to highlight a part of God or the universe or spirit, whatever is comfortable for you, that you are meant to be bringing to everything you do. But if you're just focused on one thing, it's hard to bring that to everything. And once that one thing is not there all the time to focus on, what do we do? That's the message coming through. Oh, okay, so it says this sigil will remind you never to do this. It says, in this way you do not take the pain. Oh, wait, here, hold on. I got lost here. We think we are our emotions. We are our body and we are our thoughts. In truth, you could disidentify with just about anything. To disidentify with something, you must first identify it as different from yourself, as other than you. For example, if you would like to disidentify from your own pain, all you must do is to conceptualize your pain as a separate entity. And when you experience pain, observe the pain as if you were watching this separate entity reacting. And in this way, you do not take the pain personally. And this is where we can observe our emotions and observe the way we're feeling about something and we don't identify with it, the role or the title or the label, we can just kind of understand that feeling is there, that connection is there, that identification is there. We have identified, we do identify, but we don't have to actually it won't throw us for a loop if something were to happen to it, because we now don't identify. Now we are just observers, if that makes sense. This sigil will remind you to never do this, separating from process with an attitude of resistance. Separating from process with an attitude of resistance. Instead, allow the aspects of you that you want to disidentify from by exposing them to your conscious awareness. Letting yourself know, yes, I do identify as that mom. I do identify as the wife. But where is you? Where is the name? Where is that authentic free spirit that isn't identified or attached to anything or anybody in this world? It's just here to grow, to expand, to move, and interact with other energy. And we're doing something here huge as energy, as just the scientific atoms and neutrons and protons and all that we are. So we're doing that, but we're doing it in a human body that has a lot of judgments and a lot of identity. So let's go ahead and pull a couple more cards, you guys, and I will read those others. I want to get this a Galactic Heritage card too. Ocean Contact Pleiades. Nice. Okay. And then we're going to get a Surrender card also. Open Contact. Surrender to miracles. Be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that all these events are real. Let go of any resistance and banish any doubt that miracles can happen. Nice. It's time to release resistance against your natural flow and the natural way things are happening and going right now. That's a strong message. And it has been. All right, let's get this Tiger Spirit real quick, you guys. I'm just going to read these and then we will get on with our New Year's Eve, right? We bring you the gift of the Tiger Spirit rising. You are being empowered with a truth more potent than fear. Your spirit is rapidly expanding beyond what opinion and logic can contain. It needs to be free to run wild with divine grace in the world. Your life, your destiny, your divine fulfillment requires that you have the courage to roar for love, to refuse to be put down, to disrespect yourself, and to let your untamed loving heart be free. Your spirit creates a field of divine electricity through your body and mind that can liberate others from conformity and social conditioning, allowing them to break away from system based in control and fear. This is the energy we are going to see more and more happening here in the next three to 6 months, with this resistance of releasing control, especially for the controlling energies, or maybe the ones who haven't had the time or made the time. It's not that they haven't had it, it's how we're using our time. Are we using our time to address what's deeper behind our control, behind our identity, behind our roles, behind our why we're doing what we're doing, and what are we getting from it? What is it feeding in us? That's a message. To refuse to be put down, to respect yourself, and to let your untamed loving heart be free. Your spirit creates a field of divine electricity through your body and mind that can liberate others from conformity and social conditioning, allowing them to break away from system based in control and fear. As your tiger spirit rises, you excite and empower the tiger spirit in others to rise above conditioning as they discover the wild divine spirit being they are in truth. I love that. Because it's kind of like what I was saying, like you can help, but a lot of people might be waiting and watching and observing people breaking away from those roles or those identities or those egos and going, if this is happening to others and for others, I can make this happen, because I don't want to just identify with this one thing, or I don't want to get my self-worth from just this thing. I don't want to be doing something because I need something from it. I want to be just doing it because that's just what I do. And yeah, there's that feeling there. Let's go here. Let's see. When this oracle comes to you, there's an opportunity to break away from the tribe, to step into your divine destiny in a new way. In time, you will connect with a new conscious crew, but you may have to take some steps on your own for a while. It is going to take courage, but you have that in abundance. It might startle some people around you who don't understand what you are choosing or why. You might not even know exactly why yourself. If you feel an instinct within for growth, trust it. Your wild tiger spirit is rising, and this is lifting you out of the world you have known into a time of increasing vibrancy and radiant, loving life. Roar loud and proud. Your kindred tiger spirit souls will hear you and be drawn to your light. I love that. All right, let's get this towering magnificence. Three, also a 3. Okay. 30 here. You are entering the presence of the truly great and sublime divinity. It is without form, yet exists within all forms. It is humbling, and yet asks nothing of you. It just is. And when we encounter it, we are moved beyond words, beyond mind, and into realms of the heart that we may never have experienced before. It takes a brave soul to meet the towering majesty of divine presence. It can be a terrifying experience as limitations, preconceived notions, and identities crumble in the wake of its light. You are being brought to this place out of love because you are ready. Your soul has been craving connection to something so much larger than itself, to find something worthy to which it can devote itself entirely. This greatness is becoming available to you now, to be witnessed to the extent that is helpful, so that you may find the greater purpose of service which your heart craves. You are ready. And this is kind of what I was getting and talking about with the last card. Is kind of like, instead of doing, it's like we're kind of meant to do something, but it might not necessarily be like it is a role, but it's an untitled role. It's just like we are that shaker energy, or we are that maker energy, or we are that communicator energy, or we are that, that's what energy we are. We're like, you've probably heard that, but like we're like the hands of God, and we're doing the work. And each of us has a different like finger, or a different like purpose, a different thing that we're bringing to the table. That's a bigger. It's a manifestation of the bigger energy working here through us, with us, within us, and just, as we are. This oracle brings you comfort that your inner path, your opening up to direct experience of the divine presence, is happening now, according to divine timing and grace. This is also confirmation that you are connecting with your spiritual guidance more consciously now, and that any sense of self that appears to be falling away from you now is because your divinity has outgrown it, and a new awareness is taking its place. Mighty sentinels, connecting heaven and earth, wisdom of the ancients, waiting for those who listen in the quiet. I love that. All right, let's get this flexibility real quick. Flexibility. Okay, I definitely see that with the swan here. Also, I always get with the swan, like, things not looking how they actually are. That makes sense. Something beginning looking completely not as magical or not as beautiful or not as wonderful as it's going to be. Maybe even being judged as not being beautiful or as awesome or whatever as it is. Flexibility, wisdom. Flexibility is an indicator of your ability to moderate and modulate confluences of energy while not compromising what you align to and with. It is a graceful dance. So, you may align with helping children and stuff like that. And there's even bigger things you could do with that energy if you're that nurturing and that, or maybe you're a cook, maybe you're, there's something you probably physically really enjoy, but there's a way to bring it into even more, not identifying with it, but just do it, and do it on an even more expansive level. I am getting that. It is a graceful dance, the strength to meet many parts of yourself in one place, and the sensitivity to fill each of them. The boldness to speak truth to what's not aligned, and the vulnerability it requires to do so. The ferocity to uphold boundaries that keep you open and present. And the softness of self to adjust them when your capacity shifts. This convergence teaches you to find space, depth, and elongation, to know that there is always plenty of time and energy to feel what is coming up, to be felt, to speak to what is asking for your truth, and to consciously be present. Volume does not equal haste. When you rush, constrict, and contract, you shift out of alignment and impact your flexibility. You become rigid, stuck, unable to enforce boundaries. Say yes to synchronistic opportunities and let go of the past, or stop living in the future. Find space in your neck so you can be flexible in the shifts that come with growth. Love that. Where or how am I being asked to be more flexible? Where or how am I asking someone else for more flexibility? Is there a truth I need to speak to maintain my alignment and ability to flow? And in what ways am I willing to bend or stretch right now? And in what ways am I immovable and rooted in my standards and values? Just some questions you can ask yourself. Let's read this. Seraph 21. Practice connecting to the joy that is always deep within you. Pay attention to what brings you exquisite delight. If you don't know what that is, you are guided to experiment and explore. Connecting to the joyful capacity of your heart will heal so much negativity and uncertainty. Let your heart relax. Allow the spiritual grace that wishes to reorder your life to manifest its miraculous magic. I'm kind of releasing control right now to allow something miraculous to happen for your soul. For your soul's growth. There's a lot of growth and expansion here happening energetically. And amazing things happen when we allow the energy to do what it needs to do, to grow and expand and be what it is. Let's go ahead and read this 89 Open Contact. This is that Galactic Heritage card. Pleiades. Future. This card has to do with meeting an other, stepping onto common ground. The other energies, the energies that are us also, but yes, this meeting the other and maybe resisting the other, maybe resisting something here. Stepping onto common ground into the unknown and making a connection with a new entity or consciousness. It means facing your fears in order to do this, but experiencing transformation in the process. The future Pleiadians are committed to mentoring humans in this contact process, and their energy is here to assist you. It is also likely that this Pleiadian energy is a future life of yours, reaching out through time to support you, or it could be a new channeling experience. I have felt this many times in my journey. It's like, I'll feel like, I was talking about this earlier, like, I think I even mentioned it, but different energies come through, and it's almost like I'll resist contact because I'm like, oh no, I'm not getting pulled into that energy. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I already got so many other energies I'm working with, and I'm trying to sort through all the DNA and the ancestor stuff. I'm trying to listen to the really, really, it's just pure love. And then there's this middle, this, I almost feel it as like it's the bridgy energy, but it is, it's just like it requires so much work to bridge things and connect things. I mean, they just are connected. It doesn't take the work to connect them. They're already connected. It just takes our minds and a lot of work. It takes us a lot of work to understand the connections and feel them as, and see them, our perception, shift our perception of it all being connected. Our guides being one of many, 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 not just angels, not just aliens or extraterrestrials, not just our ancestors, not just our family and friends in the physical that we live with today, but everything, everybody of the past, everybody of the future, everybody. And it's just not, it's not like everybody, it's like everything, every bit of life, every bit of everything is our teacher and our mentors, and we need to be open to that, to receive messages from maybe something you're not used to receiving messages from. Maybe you're not used to looking at plants or flowers as messengers, but we, along with many, many, many historical, we've created this understanding that they are communicating something to us by what they are, by what they do, by what their traits are, or their medicines, or their poisons. Yeah, so that's kind of a little side message. I hope that makes sense to somebody. So it says, Pleiadian energy, it said it could be a new channeling experience. Either way, it is time to open yourself up to contact. If this is not the case, or excuse me, Earth will soon be entering the galactic community and is now being prepared. If this card comes up in your reading, it may have many meanings depending on your circumstances. Perhaps you are well aware of your interest in the experience with ET contact. If that is the case, this card is acknowledging that part of your commitment in this life. It may also be acknowledging a connection that you have with a specific Pleiadian or other beings. If this is not the case for you, this contact card may instead be referring to a different kind of contact you are now experiencing, perhaps with your higher self or with spirit guides. It may also be referring to opening contact with a previously hidden part of yourself. If you are unaware of this, start paying attention to the subtle cues around you. Quiet your mind and open yourself to guidance from the universe. Let yourself embrace an other, and let the experience assist you in the realization that this is only a reflection of you. It's nothing separate from you. It's kind of like that first sigil I'm getting that. It's just that energy of needing to do that, really connect and come together with the parts of ourselves. It's not even the parts of ourselves, it's everything that's within us, without resistance. So we can be in flow, so we can be truly more in alignment and more in flow with the nature that we are. So that is the message, you guys. All right. I think I got all cards. Yes, I read them all. So you guys, I appreciate you guys coming in and watching your reading, I'm not sure when I'm going to get back to signs and all that, you guys, but I do appreciate you guys hanging out, staying with your journey, and to keep coming back and connecting with yourself. When we got so many energies that are moving so fast and starting to move faster, and it's just like easy to get swept away in it and not take this time to slow down and really focus on you, and without judgment, without saying, oh, you're so selfish for taking this time to yourself, or you're so selfish for walking away from that toxic conversation, or that toxic, and it was bringing my energy down. You know, this is really feeling like we need to keep our energy up, guys. We need to keep our energy vibrating, very not busy, because the energy you don't have to actually be doing something for your energy to be vibrating. You actually have to take care of your energy for it to be building, okay? It's like, just, that's kind of what I'm getting. It's like, it's a building up of our energy. And the more we use our energy on things, it depletes parts of our energy. Now, there's things we have to use our energy for, but we can control how much energy we put into certain things. So it's temperance, you guys. I'm getting temperance. Actually, I am going to pull a few tarot. let's just 3. We're just gonna get 3 real quick. Feeling that temperance though, and I didn't even pull like tarot. We got the process of release. It's the 5 of Pentacles energy. And needing to release the feeling of, this could be releasing toxic ways of thinking, toxic ways of maybe not asking for help, maybe not helping others for the right reasons also, but also it's a feeling of it's like that feeling of feeling disconnected, okay? It's like I'm disconnected from that, but that is something that could help me. But I'm choosing to stay disconnected from it. That's what I'm getting from this 5 of Pentacles, okay? And then we got the flow. And this is the page, or no, excuse me, this is this the King? King of Water? I may have to look at that one. You know, I want to say the Queen. And then we got the 7, Imagination, the 7 of Cups. Not getting swept away. This is an interesting image. It's like all this stuff. It's just like cluttering the mind. It's like needing to take that time out to determine and put our energy and our efforts towards something specifically that we know is for it's ours, and it's something that makes us truly happy. It's not even something. It's just being the energy that's and putting that towards the things that align with your certain vibrational signature. Okay, so I am going to look at that real quick though. Because this is water for sure. Here we go. It's the Queen. Okay, not the King. The King's the one that points up. So it's going with the flow, and I am going to read this real quick. It says, in the vast sea of sentimentality, you can either struggle against the tide or follow the flow inside. The Queen of Water knows the immense power of emotional currents and the futility of fighting the forces of nature that run through us all. She pulls the world in with a heartfelt embrace and then lets it all go to gently drift away. Oh, I love that. I love that. Our vulnerability can be a powerful weapon used to conquer the fears of connecting deeply and accepting who we truly are. This is coming through, really connecting with spirit. Usually this is a image of these two people. One is physically eld, and the other is like mentally or spiritually eld. And together, you know, they're outside freezing, and it's like there's this feeling of needing to step into your divinity or into your higher source, tap into your connection with everything that you are instead of separating yourself from where you belong. It's not even where you belong, you already are. It's just the resistance is keeping you disconnected energetically from really bringing forth all of your power and all of your growth and energy that you have to bring. I'm going to read this. Yeah, I don't usually read the books, but for some reason, especially with tarot, because I already, you know, I always like to I know the meanings, but it's just, I don't usually read the actual tarot books, but for some reason, it's definitely calling me today. Venus and Scorpio. And there is a full moon in the back of the Queen of Water here, too, which we just had that full moon in Cancer. Which is a water sign, too, also. So this could be resonating a lot with Cancers, too, also. Or Pisces. This moon energy and this 5, let's see here. The 7 of water overflows with an exciting, if sometimes overwhelming, abundance of ideas, not all of which are desirable. It carries an explosive creative potential, but warns of its weight. For although a limitless imagination may keep things endlessly interesting, it can be hard to even stand up under the load of such myriad possibilities. This is an invitation to dream and to let the mind expand outwards in all directions, and to feel the pull of imagination draw you into its unfettered reality. An encouragement to color the world with possibility and see life through the reflective lens of your creative perception. But also this can cause confusion, okay? A lot of times I do see the Seven of Cups as emotional confusion, like, oh, I should do this because it's going to make me feel guilty or ashamed, or like I am not, like, unworthy, or, you know, like what we were talking about with, like, doing things for people and, like, those becoming our roles. Like, what happens when you're tired or you're worn out, you need to make a different choice for yourself to emotionally nurture yourself. Or you get this great surge of energy to do something, and you're like, wait, maybe this, maybe that, and that splits your energy, so you're not focusing it all in one thing. And granted, we do need balance, but it's, if we are choosing something here for our emotional well-being or our creative endeavors, we need to focus on it right now. But yet there's a feeling of going with the flow. So if something just isn't there, isn't coming together, to allow and relax, because things are happening and it's good stuff. That towering magnificence and that believing in miracles and just being yourself right now can shine a lot of light out there for others, okay? Even if you're questioning or doubting things right now, it can really help bring in something beautiful and bring maybe some energies together here within yourself, or and therefore maybe even outside of yourself, both, into balance. So be open for that. Any guidance coming in right now, you guys, and try not to over busy, over distract, or over identify with anything you're really doing. Just focus your energy in the direction you know, in the space you know you belong. That's what I am getting. All right, guys. And the Hermit on the bottom. Okay. All right. You guys have a good New Year's Day, and I will talk to you later. I appreciate you guys. And what was I going to say? Yeah, I don't know how long it's going to be before I'm back with another message, and I'm hoping to get started on signs again. I've been kind of feeling that, so we'll see where that's going. But I think right now there's just so much going on. I think Spirit's been just saying, just do a message, like just throw a message out there, you know, and that's what I'm doing. So, but I am feeling like we're going to get back to the zodiacs to kind of get more messages for the wheel. Yeah, that's where I'm at. So you guys, I don't really know. I'm kind of just going with the flow. So thank you, and have a good day, and I will talk to you later.